Art Course Mini Golf is 9 holes inspired by masterpieces within the walls of the Nelson Atkins Museum of Art. You can play in the grassy area in front of the Nelson, not too far from the museum front doors. The holes were picked out of 75 ideas submitted by people just like us. Let's meet one of the designers, Kelly Batchelor-Mummy. So you were walking through Nelson Atkins and you saw a couple of Ming vases, and one of them led you to create this story.
Correct. It was interesting. The 2 vases, when I was studying them, the one on the left was shattered. And I thought, well, that's too bad. I wonder how that happened. And that is what built my story on my hole, wondering how come this vase was shattered. And I thought, well, maybe the dragon got tired of being on his vase and kept popping off, and then they would have to find all the pieces, put it back together to get the dragon back on the vase. But right now, he's off the vase.
Well, I was gonna say, certainly he has come flying off of that vase, and the way this hole starts is a little bit different than any golf course I've ever been at.
It works similar to how, like a marble. You drop the ball at the top, and then it goes through the dragon's body, and then out the mouth, and hopefully right into the hole. If not, then you have to putt it in.
Okay, Kelly, well, we got the putters, we've got the balls. I would be honored to play with you.
Okay.
You go ahead and start.
All right, let's see how it goes.
Oh, see, this is so interesting. It's just got that pinball effect.
Oh.
Okay, it didn't make it all the way, but you know what? When you were designing this, what was that process like?
Oh, it was just a lot of fun trying to figure out how to wind the dragon's body around, get the ball to go through, and then to come out its mouth and into a really fun, playable hole.
Oh my gosh! And that was the first time I've ever done this. You of course, being the designer, you've had a little bit of experience. You brought some people who are very special with you out here.
Yes, my 2 boys and my husband. My boys were instrumental in helping me lay it out and design it. They love dragons. They're 8 and 12.
Oh, of course they do.
Yep, and so they'd be walking by a kitchen table. I had to build a model of it so it'd be readable in the submission. And I'd ask them, hey, how does this look? Does this dragon look okay? What about this? They're like, oh, that looks like so much fun. Or they'd tell me how to tweak it. So they were involved in the design process.
So I was so excited, clearly, to get a hole-in-one. Now, since opening in Memorial Day weekend, it's been sold out almost every day. In just a little bit, we'll meet another designer from right here in Kansas City. Welcome back to Better Kansas City. Our next art course hole designer at the Nelson Atkins Museum of Art said mini golf really is his thing. And when the architect found out about the contest from people at work, he said he knew he had to enter. Take a look at how the Russian painter Kandinsky provided design inspiration. And hole 4 here is a little bit different than anything else you'll see in art course. The designer, of course, John Glassner. So Kandinsky, he obviously had something very special about him that made for a very special hole for us to golf on.
Right, he had a condition called synesthesia, and when I was looking through the museum and reading about the piece, it said when he saw colors, he heard sounds, and when he heard sounds, he saw colors, which is what synesthesia is. Your brain can process both of those at once. So I thought about it, and it just popped into my head that this would be a great way to do this, to set this up like a little bit of a maze, kind of a pachinko thing, and put some sound effects on there that the balls could crash into and make some sounds.
Okay, well, in true Kandinsky form, I have a blue ball, and you, of course, have an orange one, so
yes.
Let's put this to the test.
All right, let's see what we can do here.
Now, you've obviously golfed this before. On the inaugural night, who did you bring out here?
I came out with my wife.
Do you guys have any tips and tricks?
Yeah. My best tip is if you want to make sounds right away, just go.
I go, the ball and
don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody, but sometimes I like to go backwards.
Oh, see, I love it. He knows where to hit it, so he can make some noise. Okay, well, you know what? Can I try my hand at this?
give it a whirl.
Okay, we need enough momentum.
Get her up there. Woo-hoo-hoo. Okay, you can try the orange ball.
I think we're done with this one. But you know, you did see the Master John here. He hit several of these, and of course we've got all the symbols right there that you can come out here and play for yourself.
Yeah, you know, I think it's great that people are really loving the art course and coming out. And that's what it's really all about for me. It was just a fun idea that I had, but it's just great to see people coming out and having fun and enjoying themselves out here.
Yeah, enjoying yourself, but also being embarrassingly bad if you were me. So from a hole-in-one to a no-go, it really is a tricky hole. John actually designed that to be flat, but A to Z Theatrical made it with a slope. In the next half an hour, we'll show you the second half of the art course, the Scavenger Hunt. So we've been having a lot of fun in the lawn of the Nelson Atkins, but it's time for some education.
What? That comes after the putting though, right?
Yeah, it does. So there's a scavenger hunt for you to find the works of art that inspired the golf holes. So this green marker is actually one of the ways that you can tell the art you are standing in front of is part of the scavenger hunt. Casey Claps is here to actually walk us through these Ming vases. So I'm just learning so much that you guys have such an exceptional Chinese collection.
We do. Our Chinese collection is often considered the best outside of China. And we have an incredible display of artworks that you can be endlessly inspired by. But it's these two Ming vases that Kelly, the winner of the hole that she designed, was inspired by. And what you can see here, and one of the things we tried to emphasize in the golf course is that porcelain is such an important material. These vases are super beautiful, they're super fragile, but then if you actually stop to look, and that's one of the things we hope this golf course will do, is bring people in to look. The detailing on the dragons is exquisite. You know, if you've ever thought about what dragons' hands can look like, this is going to be one of the places to go to visualize it. We have two great vases here from 1300 AD, but one of them is in pristine condition and one of them is broken. And in her mind, she was telling the story that this one is broken because every night the dragon escapes and goes looking for his treasure.
Now a little green marker has pointed us in the direction of Rose with Gray, and this is by Kandinsky. And of course, we already played the corresponding golf hole.
Yeah, so this was painted by Kandinsky in 1924. And Kandinsky experienced a condition known as synesthesia. And so you can see here that he says in one of his quotes, "Color is the keyboard." And I think what he's trying to say by that is that as he was painting this, the color was coming to life. It's very versatile. It's jumping off the page. Something that maybe you didn't know is that for when we submitted our request for proposal, we asked people for ideas on golf holes. This was the #1 submitted artwork.
Wow.
Yeah, we had over 75 submissions, but this one had the most percentage of all the submissions.
Okay, so what do you think really stood out to people when they're walking through the Nelson? This painting speaks to me. Do you think it was the era or what they see?
I think that it's got a lot of motion, it's very dynamic, and I think that when you're looking at it, you can really understand how a ball might staccato all the way through there.
And of course, right now you can play the course any day except Tuesday when the museum's closed, and it's open until Labor Day, but it's been so popular there have been talks about leaving it open until October.
Awesome. Well, I would love to go out there and try my short game there in some of those
really cool.
very cool holes they had out there. And the fact that they mirror the paintings and the art inside is very neat as well.
Well, and there are even more holes that'll just like sort of give you so much whimsy, or you'll be like, that was so cool. How did someone think of that?
All right, well, kids, Ellis